So as we mentioned previously, password cracking is one of the more common methods to circumvent access control lists and bypassing them by simply stealing the username and password information. So, as we mentioned, usernames and passwords are the most common access methods, and they are that for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're easy to remember. When you get hired on with a company, it's standard issue, you get a username, and it's usually some variation of your own name so that it is in fact easy to remember. In addition, a password is usually assigned to you, but you're allowed to change it to whatever you like, usually changing it to something that is familiar to you, again, so that you can remember it. And because of these reasons, they're the most insecure access method available today, simply because they're known information. Even passwords, which are supposed to be highly protected, are often found on sticky notes of the monitors and the people that use them. Usernames are easily discovered through various avenues. First of all, the naming convention. A lot of companies use first name dot last name or first letter of your first name and your full last name. Whatever the case may be, almost every company uses some variation of your personal name to make up for your username. Oftentimes, you can even do your email address. A great example of this would be bradcausey@company.com. Well, you can make a pretty decent guess that my username is Brad Causey inside the company as well. A pretty good percentage of the time, once we have access to the username, we've got to get the password. And when I say get the password, I don't mean get it in plain text. Most of the time when you steal passwords, they're going to be encrypted or hashed or hidden in some way. And it's our job to have the skill and knowledge to be able to break that method of concealing the password and reveal it for use, again, to bypass those access control methods. There are three primary ways to gain access to a password once you have stolen it. The first way, and probably one of the most common, is the brute force attack. And basically what this does is it tries every single combination of alphanumeric and special character sequences against a password hash. A great example of this is the NTLM hash. Because the method for creating the hash is known, then we basically take the number 0 and we hash it. If my hash matches your hash, then I know I've got the right password. If 0 doesn't work, I try the number 1. And I keep going up all the way to 9, and then I jump to A. And I go all the way to Z, and then I jump to asterisk. And go all the way through semicolon, and then I jump back into 2 digits. So now it's 00, and 01, and 02. And we go through that entire process until we reach the length and eventually break the password. Now, what this means is that every password ever, under any circumstances, can and will be broken with brute force attacks. The difference between a high security password and a low security password is how long that brute force attack takes. A great example, the password that I'm currently using a computer with dual processors, it would take someone 17 million years to crack my password. And I know that because I actually plug it into a brute force calculator. So someone with a plain text password, such as Sam, it would take about 5 seconds. So you can see a pretty big difference between 5 seconds and several million years. A dictionary attack is significantly faster, but often less effective than a brute force attack. And here's why. Dictionary attacks rely on a word or phrase-based dictionary. What that means is I'm going to take that pre-known hash, your user account, maybe Sam, for example, and your password could be Bob. Well, if Bob is in my dictionary, I'll crack your password. If Bob is not in my dictionary or my list of words or phrases, then I will not crack your password. So essentially, a dictionary attack is taking a list of known words and variations of words and possibly phrases, depending on how big you want to go, and hashing all of those and comparing them against that password. A hybrid attack is a combination of different tools, often combining the effectiveness of brute force and dictionary attacks and often using other attack mechanisms.